What I'm realizing is that women are a special kind of stupid.
Age gap relationships are nasty and weird as fuck.
So don't get in an age gap relationship. And for those who want to be in one, mind your own business. Next.
Hey guys, so I just rejected a man. Y'all know I do this every day.
So you got it like that. You got men coming after you every single day, huh? Yeah, okay. Go on.
For some reason, I just felt like sharing this rejection with y'all. He told me that he doesn't have a relationship with his mom because she kicked him out when he was 12.
Did you ask him why his mother kicked him out at 12 years old?
He doesn't know if she's alive or not, meaning he does not intend on ever having any type of relationship with his mama. He said that he's in therapy still.
You know I'm about to tell you a story, right? When I was 13 years old, I had a friend who never seemed to want to go home. Back then, I knew his mother was using drugs, but I didn't know the extent of the story. His grandmother found out what was going on, and he went to live with her, and he pretty much just disappeared. 20 plus years later, I ran into him, and he told me why he went to live with his grandmother. He told me when his mother didn't have money to get her fix, she would loan him to the dealer to do whatever he wanted to do to him so that she could satisfy her fix. Now that he was grown and out on his own, he went to visit his mother one day and told her that it was hard for him to forgive her for what she did to him. And she responded, "Boy, that was 20 years ago. Get over it." That would cause any man to end up in therapy and not want to have a relationship with his mother. There are so-called mothers out here physically and mentally abusing their children on a daily basis. Just because she gave birth to a child does not make her a mother. Did you even ask this man what happened? Of course you didn't.
He said that his ex-wife, the reason for the divorce is because she had 2 abortions behind his back in their marriage.
So you're saying there's something wrong with him because his ex-wife chose on her own to have 2 abortions without telling him. How does that make him the bad person? Wouldn't his ex-wife be the culprit? Do you hear yourself when you talk?
This is what's left. So all you ladies who breaking up because y'all tired but y'all still can't be alone, thinking y'all finna find better, I'm gonna continue to tell y'all there's
And you just proved in this video why men are saying that the women that are left are not worth dating. You just gave 2 reasons that made absolutely no sense for turning this man down. You didn't ask him, or you didn't tell us why he doesn't want to have a relationship with his mother. Then you make him the problem because his wife had 2 abortions behind his back. Fellas, don't you find it interesting that the way her brain works, that she's not holding the ex-wife accountable for not talking to him about wanting to have not 1, but 2 abortions? As usual, it's always the man's fault.
What I'm realizing is that women are a special kind of stupid.
God created man to be the provider.
God
Why is
didn't
it this
create,
way?
wait,
Yes,
God
he
did not create the modern social order of chivalry. That was not a creation of God, that was a creation of man.
If you look at this, like the Bible, and read the Bible and the New Testament.
I've read the Bible many times. Where should I look at the Bible for men pay for dates? Is that under, I just made that up, chapter 9? Like, where can I find that in the Bible?
You can look at husbands love your wives and wives submit to your
I'm
husbands.
sorry, are we talking about husbands and wives? Or are we talking about dating?
Gotcha!
Yeah, you're right. There's not too much about dating in the Bible, if anything at all.
Yeah, there's not too much, is there? Because what we have is we have a societal construct for how that works, and appealing to the Bible and saying this means that men have to pay for dates. Well, where? Well, I mean, how do you even come to this conclusion?
See what happens when you try to use Bible verses that you think are going to work in your favor, but you didn't do your homework?
Such a massive leap. Why should men pay for a date in modernity with women? What are they bringing to the table? Are they bringing chastity and virtue and virginity? No.
I don't want to think when I'm with a man. I think 24/7. I'm a single, independent mother, and I'm an entrepreneur.
What?
And I'm an entrepreneur.
What?
And I'm an entrepreneur.
What?
I'm an entrepreneur. So I am constantly thinking 24/7.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to shut this down?
Yeah.
So if I'm dating, I don't want to think. Don't ask me where I want to go. Don't surprise me.
Yeah, surprise her. Tell her that you're going to take her somewhere to get something to eat, but don't tell her where. Then pull up at the Cheesecake Factory and see what happens.
And then anyone that's not ambitious. Like, recently I matched with a doctor on a dating app. And I was just like, I said, what do you do? He's like, I'm a doctor. And he was just like, I was like, okay, so what's your goals? He was just like, oh no, I kind of blocked you because like, what do you mean what's my goals? Is a doctor not enough?
What's a doctor's goals? Saving people's lives?
I don't want somebody who's content with where they are. Being a doctor is amazing. I understand what you guys go through to get there, but why can't you want more?
You ever heard the saying, you just can't seem to satisfy some of these women? Well, here's one right here.
I guess me having 3 jobs shows you that I'm never comfortable with being in one place.
She has 3 jobs and he has 1 career, that more than likely in his 1 career, he makes more money than she does on her 3 jobs. And that's not enough for her.
Not being he need to run for the president. He's already a surgeon, and that ain't enough for you.
It's not a money thing more, so I guess it's an ambition thing.
If a man who has become a doctor is not enough ambition for you, sweetheart, I don't know what is. How's the saying go? Single.
Why get a divorce after 25 years of marriage? The short answer is because it is not too late to be happy. And I finally got to a point at the beginning of the year where I decided that it wasn't too late to be happy. I still have, hopefully, many more years left, and I would like to be happy for those years.
1 week later.
I'm just not strong enough to fight this one by myself. I don't know what to do.
So when exactly does this happiness that you spoke of earlier kick in? We're waiting. Well, in the meantime, here, let me play you a song.
All right, what we got? Can anybody tell me when I'm supposed to get my tires changed out? Like, they've been a little dusty. I know I'm supposed to get them recarved, but...
Recarved.
Who's gonna tell her? To the comments. You should have changed them a good year ago. Recarved? What? Right, they ain't pumpkins. You should have changed them yesteryear. F1 Tigers. Oh, living on a prayer. Real smooth operator. If they're dusty, just wash them off in a pile of vegetable oil to keep them shiny. Don't do that. Driving on hopes and dreams. Maybe winter is coming. Go now.
And remember, these are the women who claim they don't need a man, because if she had one, she wouldn't be on TikTok asking the public when is she supposed to change out the tires.
No, I would rather work 2 jobs if I have to than be in a relationship with someone who I have to go 50-50 with. That's what y'all don't understand. I've worked 2 jobs. I work every day. I don't care. Sometimes I like to work 2 jobs.
And we like letting you work 2 jobs. The fact that you think working 2 jobs is better than going 50-50 with a good man, especially in this economy, tells us all we need to know about you. Oh, and by the way, we don't want to see you on here crying 6 months from now, talking about how tired you are from working those 2 jobs. You know, like this.
I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself.
On this episode of I Don't Need No Man.
This is gonna be a hard TikTok to watch. How to know if a man is in his feminine era? It is literally a disease. It is literally a disease. Starting off strong with he wants you to text him first. What the f is that? Literally, what the fuck is that? What do you mean you were waiting for me to text you first? Why the f would I ever text you first? Next, he's posting on his stories. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Does he not have a job? The reason is like, what are you doing on social media? Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, sure, you could have it, whatever. But
So social media is only for women? I must have missed that in the terms and agreements when I signed up.
he shares his location on his story. Literally, are you a bitch? Literally, are you a bitch?
Okay, that's enough of that. I think it's quite evident who the real one of those is in this dialogue.
And allow me to take a moment and predict her future.
It comes in waves. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself. I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired.
And now, for the winner of today's Women Are a Special Kind of video.
What I'm realizing is that women are a special kind of stupid.
I do not want a poor man.
Why don't you want a poor man? Because you want him to, quote, provide for you, correct?
Because I've been taking care of everything my whole life. The financial burden of...
The financial burden.
Yeah.
You want him to take off the financial burden, right?
Yes.
By the way, she's 51 years old.
So if you want him to take off the financial burden, how much do you want? At least half, right?
Yes.
What do you think compensates him for eliminating 50% of the financial burden that you have?
Correction, financial burden you created.
That he's not responsible for.
It's not that I'm trying to give him half of my financial burden, but...
What?
It's not that I'm trying to give him half of my financial burden, but...
Literally, you are trying to give him half of your financial burden. What are you talking about? How are you not?
I'm looking for a partner, and I'm looking for somebody that has the same goals and that wants the same thing too. They want their best friend.
How are you not trying to give this man 50% of your financial burden he's not actually responsible for currently, but in the future he will be based on your choices?
But
right?
isn't that what marriage is?
No, that's not what marriage is. Marriage is two people coming together and building a family together, not some rich man paying off the debt that you created before he came along. She's 51 years old now, so you can imagine what she looked like when she was 25 years old. Why is this 51-year-old woman in debt now looking for a rich man to bail her out? Because she made bad financial decisions coming up to this point. And she thinks because of her looks, she's automatically qualified for a rich man to bail her out. But like we already know, why would a wealthy man who can bail a woman out of her debt choose a 51-year-old woman to do that for? The harsh reality that she's going to find out is a wealthy man is going to choose a 25-year-old version of her, not a woman who's completely out of her prime. Also, might I add, and no disrespect to women in general, but approximately what age does menopause start? Generally, somewhere between 45 and 50 years old. Once again, no shots fired at the general women, just making this point. What does a 51-year-old woman have to offer a wealthy man? It can't be financial advice because she's broken in debt. It can't be sex whenever he wants it because we all know that women who are going through menopause are going through menopausal symptoms like mood swings, hot flashes, vaginal dryness. So after a hard day of work, this wealthy man can't even come home and get his sexual desires met at the drop of a hat like he could with a younger woman in her 20s and her 30s. Aside from her monthly visitor, of course. So if your faith has been dwindling when it comes down to women still being delusional, it has just been restored with this 51-year-old woman here thinking that she's going to get a wealthy man to pay off half her debt. Boy, is she in for a rude awakening. Hey, somebody had to tell you, and I love you, so it might as well be me. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get notified when I post a new video. I post a new video every week. And in the meantime, will you please act right? My name is Raulh. See you in another video.
It's not that I'm trying to give him half of my financial burden, but...
What?
It's not that I'm trying to give him half of my financial burden, but...
Literally, you are trying to give him half of your financial burden.
So if you enjoyed this video, check out one of these two videos right here. I'm sure you'll enjoy them too. And if you like, you can visit my channel. I have plenty of videos there. Go ahead. Don't be scared.